obviously, of course, it helps out the video so much. And again, it really shows a lot of support on doing these 1 hour long videos. They obviously take a long time to film. Obviously, 1 hour, but also 1 hour plus because editing is a thing, and also the prepping and editing afterwards and the upload time, and it takes forever to get these things done. So liking the video is the best way to support this. So just click the like button just to, I guess, keep the series going. Because obviously, if you guys don't want to see this anymore, I'm not going to do them anymore. So comment down below maybe some stuff you guys want to talk about in upcoming ASMR videos like this. Maybe a certain sport, a certain topic, maybe a website that could be kind of like a fun thing to take a look at. Obviously, an hour. We have a lot of things to talk about, sometimes more than others, so if you have a topic you like to talk about, let it be known down in the comments, and maybe you'll be featured in an upcoming video. So all I needed to say, I think that is. So yeah, well, one of the newest things, I guess, that are kind of up to date now is the NFL season is finally done and over with, and that's kind of like the main basis of these last couple of ASMR Sports Whisper Ramblings was the NFL. We had the playoffs, we had the Super Bowl, and now it's all done and over with finally with the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, which, sure, I did pick the 49ers to win the Super Bowl at the start of the playoffs, but I did say at the start of the season that Kansas City was going to win it all. But anyways, so we're not really going to talk a lot about the NFL, but there are still some, I guess, sports going on right now with basketball. We're going to talk a little bit about the All-Star game, I guess how I felt about it, and of course the current standings and just some any news about that. I do want to dabble a little bit in baseball since baseball season is about to start, so there will be some MLB talk, just like preseason predictions, taking a look at the experts, wink wink, the experts pick on who's going to be the World Series winners and sort of things like that. Of course, going to talk some more Premier League and talk about maybe some upcoming knockout round tournaments, the Premier League standings, different things like that, Champions League, of course. And then anything else that's coming up soon, I have no idea. Maybe some F1 racing. I know UFC 300 is supposed to start in like a month or so, something like that. I have no idea, but we're going to take a look at it together. So, yeah, just, again, not a very NFL, football heavy video, because the season's done and over with, unless you guys want to talk about the upcoming NFL draft, which I don't know if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff. I love the draft. I love the draft of the NFL. I love the draft of the NBA. I'm a big NBA draft guy. I like looking at the drafts and the mock drafts and how players are doing in college and overseas play and things like that. I think it's really interesting, but I digress. If you want to talk about it, let me know. Anyways, for the NBA, so that's kind of the only thing that's really going on right now. We have the Eastern Conference standings. I'm just going to go through these kind of fast and then go back up to the top and then talk about the teams I want to talk about. Anyways, first in the NBA, Eastern Conference, we have the Boston Celtics with a 7-game lead above the number 2 seed. They are rolling. They are absolutely rolling. They might be pushing a 58-win season, maybe more. Could they push 60? I have no idea, but on the roll they're on right now, it's looking pretty wild for them. Anyways, Cleveland Cavaliers as the 2 seed, which is also extremely wild. Think about Cleveland as the 2 seed. Then we have the Milwaukee Bucks at 3, Knicks at 4, Sixers at 5, Pacers 6, Orlando Magic. They're 7th. 8th, we have the Heat. 9, the Chicago Bulls. 10, the Hawks. 11, the Brooklyn Nets. 12, the Toronto Raptors. 13th, the Charlotte Hornets. Sorry, I have to take a breath there. 14th, we have the Washington Wizards. And in dead last, almost not dead last, we have the Detroit Pistons at 8-47, but the Washington Wizards are 9-46. Which, like, God, I was just thinking about this the other day. Let me know in the comments if you're a Wizards fan. Do Wizards fan exist? Like, do people root Wizards. I know it's very ironic coming from a Blazer fan. Oh, you're a Blazer, blah blah blah. I get that, but like, man, the Wizards. I mean, you're technically benching your team's best player at the start of the season. Jordan Poole, man, that whole story is wild. I know I came out in reports of him after his game where he also just was abysmal. Like, sure, he put up points, but he's like literally the worst like field goal percentage player in the entire NBA right now. And he's talking to some of the reporters saying how, Jordan Poole, how do you feel about being benched? And he says, how do you think I feel? Which, yeah, man, hopefully he figures it out. Anyways, going back up to the top, Boston Celtics first in the NBA's Eastern Conference. I made a good pick to start the season, well, even before the season started, picking the Boston Celtics as my number one team to win the NBA championship. I said it. I think I even said it at the end of last season, saying that Boston is just ready. They are just ready now. They've had runs in the playoffs. I think Tatum is a true superstar. I think Jaylen Brown sticking around, signing that long-term deal, really solidified and sort of settled down everyone. And then obviously adding Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday, like those are just pieces of the puzzle that they definitely really needed some extra help on that team. And it just comes down to the others of that team that they're really ready for it. And man, right now they just look. It's tough to see a team in the NBA right now who could beat them in a 7-game series. I can't clear cut it. I can't. So yeah, they look amazing. And we have Cleveland at 2, which again, the Cavs and the Bucks and the Knicks are kind of all in that tally of teams. Maybe you can throw in the Sixers, but then if you're gonna throw in the Sixers, you might throw in the Pacers. I mean, they're kind of jumbled in there. Wouldn't surprise me if the Pacers go on a little win streak and they move to the 4th seed. Wouldn't surprise me if the Cavs drop some games, move down to the 5 seed. It kind of just depends on what happens through their scheduling and obviously, knock on wood, teams and how healthy they are throughout this duration of the end of the season and resting players and this and that. And man, the Cavs being at 2 is amazing. I think Donovan Mitchell is definitely not really getting a true nod of being some MVP talks. I think he kind of deserves at least his name to be thrown out there. But I think he deserves to win it. No, but it's still very nice that that Cleveland team was down in like 7-6, hovering in 5 seed for a long time, boosting it all the way up to the 2 seed. It's very impressive. Then we have the Milwaukee Bucks at 3, who are staying afloat. Obviously they were the number 1 seed for a while, and they were the number 2 seed for a while. Now they've been the 3 seed for a little bit. It's just not really the trajectory that you really want to be on. Now, of course, that team is built for the playoffs. They are, 7 deep. They're really built for, short 7-game series, and they have superstars and good depth, and I guess a coach who's been in the playoffs a lot, so that's good. I guess, I don't know if I want to call Doc Rivers a win-now coach, because he hasn't won since, 12 years ago. But, there's a coach who's been to the NBA Finals, and, you just gotta trust the process when it comes to the Bucks. Hopefully, if not this season, next season, if they build the team a little bit better, a little bit deeper, a little bit more youthful, a little bit more defensive-minded, I think it'll be a lot better this year. They're trying to figure out how to play with Dame and Giannis and trying to get their coaching stuff situated. I think next year will be a true year to see if this Bucks team is legit or not. Knicks at 4, playing really well without Randall and also Mitchell Robinson. Man, they've been hustling out there. Sixers obviously don't have Joel Embiid, which is sad. It's very sad. Hopefully he does come back at least by the playoffs. Even if it's a couple games into the first round, they just need Joel Embiid at some point in time. But even if not, if they just tank the season, maybe lose and go down to maybe the 8th seed and then lose in the play-in, have the 10th seed, they could actually get a pretty nice draft pick when it comes to that. But no, I think Joel Embiid is supposed to come back at some point in time this season, and I hope he comes back healthy, because if he does come back at least 80% of himself, pray for the other team, because Joel Embiid is almost an unstoppable player. The Pacers at 6, which I just sort of mentioned very quickly, that they could actually jump to, a home court advantage spot or even higher than that. obviously got to be in a system and got to be in the right spot and playing the right way. And obviously with your floor general like Tobias Harris. Whoa, Tobias Harris. I don't know what I'm saying. When you're with a floor general like Tyrese Halliburton, TH and TH is kind of what I got mixed up in my brain. You gotta, pick and choose spots, and I think they're still trying to figure that out, and the rest of that team is trying to figure it out. They're still kind of young, and I'm excited to see what they can do in the playoffs this year, because they could definitely be a team that could surprise a Cavalier or a Buck team in the playoffs. Anything else that's really surprising? The Hornets right now are on a 4-game winning streak. They actually have the second longest winning streak besides the Boston Celtics have 4 games. They've been looking a little bit more cohesive. I think it's definitely because of the play of some of their other guys like Brandon Miller and some of the other players a little bit more gelling together, let's call it that. I'm not sure if LaMelo Ball has actually been playing any of their games. I guess I could check really quick. Has LaMelo Ball been playing? He has not, but again, Bridges has also been playing well, but whatever. But yeah, Brandon Miller has been very surprising, definitely having a good rookie year, and definitely been looking like he is the second best rookie of last year's draft class, I would say. He's looking pretty good so far, and yeah. Wizards are being the Wizards, and they're trying to beat out the Pistons for the worst record in the NBA, which is yikes, but yeah, the Eastern Conference is shaping out to be pretty okay. I think the final couple weeks will really tell the standings. I think the standings won't even be completely done until the final day of the NBA season, so that's also very exciting. But you can probably bet, knock on wood, Boston Celtics are going to be number 1, and they are going to be the team to beat. Going over to the Western Conference now, we have we have the Western Conference. Let's make this kind of quicker. At the number one seed, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves with only a 1-game lead over the number 2 seed. Kind of more exciting over there. At the number 2 seed, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. 3 seed, we have the Los Angeles Clippers. 4, Denver Nuggets. 5, the Pelicans. 6, the Mavericks. 7, the Suns. 8, the Kings. 9, the Los Angeles Lakers. 10, the Warriors. 11, Jazz. 12, Rockets. 13, Grizzlies. 14, Portland Trailblazers. And 15, we have the San Antonio Spurs. So, don't think Portland is going to catch San Antonio for the worst record in the West, but I hope they do. As, yes, even though I am wearing a Laker-colored jersey, I do like the Portland Trailblazers, and yeah, the more I watch, again, a little bit of draft talk here, the more I watch Alexander Sarr, the more highlights, the more film, the more clips I see of him, I don't know how people say this is like a weak or a bad draft class. I think Alexander Sarr can be one of the best bigs in the NBA. Like, I really can see that. I think in the future, 5, 6, 7 years in the future, when the Embiids and the Jokic's are all done, Wemby, Chet, Alex Sarr, I think those are going to be the 3 best bigs in the NBA. And a team would love to have a guy like Alexander Sarr to match up against guys like Chet and Wemby. I don't see why people think that getting the number 1 pick is like, oh, it's like a fool's gold prize. I think every team would love to have a guy like Alexander Sarr. That's just my opinion. And even a lot of the other guys in the draft class, like Zachary Ricochet, Cody Williams, Ron Holland, even Matas Buzelis. Like, they have a lot of wings, a lot of guys from 6'8 to 6'11, 6'10, who every team in the NBA needs length at the wing position nowadays, especially the way the game is played. Those guys are gold in today's NBA. I'm surprised, again, not getting this whole weak NBA draft class buzz that's going on. It's a bunch of BS, in my opinion. Anyways, number 1 team is the Minnesota Timberwolves, looking really good. But yeah, the Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Clippers, and the Nuggets are all battling for that number 1 seed. And kind of like the opposite, well, almost like the opposite of the 7 maybe games of the season, they're gonna start resting Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, so they're gonna lose some games due to that. But yeah, let the Timberwolves and the Thunder, the young guys, sort of run their gas on trying to get that 1 seed, while the Clippers and the Nuggets just ride out the rest of the season just to get good seeding in the playoffs, and that's all they need. So I'm excited to see those teams. The Pelicans have also been kind of on a roll right now. They're on a 4-game winning streak recently, and Zion has been playing like an all-star. They also haven't had Brandon Ingram for a while, which I've actually seen some rumblings on Bleacher Report and things like that of, like, a potential breakup of Brandon Ingram and Zion, because it seems like that team is doing pretty well when either one is out. Now, when they both play, obviously it's very good, but if you can maybe trade a Brandon Ingram, get an upgrade at a position that you really, really need, because it seems like Brandon Ingram on that team does help, but maybe not super needed, because right now, again, 4-game win streak, just Zion and I guess CJ McCollum as well, but there's been some rumblings of that duo breaking up sometime soon, which is kind of interesting. Then you have the Dallas Mavericks with the second longest winning streak in the entire NBA, tied with the Boston Celtics with 7 games, also looking really good with their newly acquired role guys in Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. They definitely won the trade deadline. No offense to the New York Knicks, I think they did great with their additions, but I mean, that team looks like a different team. They look like that team back in 2021, 22. Whenever they made it to the Western Conference Finals, they look like that team, a deep team, surrounded by Luka Doncic, and Luka playing like an MVP, which, man, if the Dallas Mavericks end the season as, let's say, the 4 seed, definitely need to look at him also in the MVP talks. Anything else kind of surprising? The Warriors are kind of making a comeback. They're back in the play-in scenario because the Utah Jazz have been sucking buns recently. Same thing with the Houston Rockets, so obviously with those teams struggling, the Warriors are back in it, baby. They are the 10 seed. They might be coming for your favorite team right now, in the play-in scenario, that is. Which I think that'd be really cool to see the Warriors play, the Kings or the Suns in the playoffs. Obviously with the Kevin Durant versus Steph Curry is always really fun to see, and obviously a rematch of the Warriors against the Kings would be sick, but also the matchup of Steph Curry and LeBron James in the play-in would be astronomical, because the NBA just loves when LeBron plays Steph Curry. Yeah, Jazz, Rockets, Grizzlies all kind of being meh right now. The Grizzlies have been playing a little bit better, but yeah. And then Portland sucks, and sort of the Spurs. But again, the draft is a lot more interesting than people are making out to be. I pinky promise. I've been looking into it a lot. Again, I'm a fan of a team that sucks buns right now. It's going to be the playoff. They're going to be in the lottery for many years. I've been very into draft scouting. I'm not like scouting. Like, I'm just looking at players, and I am more impressed with this draft class than I think others are. Anyways, that's sort of the up-to-date stuff on the NBA. Anything that's really been going, like, again, like the All-Star game. People asked my opinion on it on my Monday night live stream, which, by the way, if you don't know, I go live every single Monday night around like 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, PM. I go live and I talk sports, I talk video ideas, I talk personal life stuff, I talk to you guys, I do kind of mini Q&As, I just go live and hang out and do ASMR. Do some triggers here and there throughout the live as well, have a nice little drink, do some other really fun things. I even open packs. I open packs like this on stream. I go live every Monday. But on those streams, the last one recently, people were talking about the All-Star game and how I felt about it. It was okay. It wasn't a good one. Not the worst one that I can remember, but it was still pretty bad. The skills competition was fun. I think the teams could have been a little bit more skillful. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I wish it was more skilled players. Like, and seeing Victor Wembanyama. Oh my god, he's so cool. But in a skills competition, I want to see the most skilled basketball players in a competition. Like, do I really want to see Scotty Barnes shoot a half-court shot behind his head? No, I don't want to see that. I want to see the most skilled NBA basketball players to see who is the most skilled. Not just a bunch of random teams thrown together and go get them, kids. Like, come on. Like, I want to see better competition than that. The three-point competition, though. Fire, 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 fire. It has been the best competition since 2016. I think it's been, well, maybe like 2017, 2018, but it's been the best competition in the All-Star. It's been the best thing about the All-Star weekend for the past handful of years, and that's definitely crazy to say, but man, the three-point competition is awesome. Love to see it. Obviously, I love seeing Dame win back-to-back three-point championships. That's pretty sick. Maybe he said he's gonna go for a three-peat, so he's gonna beat it again next year. So if Dame wins 3 in a row, man, that's tough. I think Steph needs to make a comeback and try to dethrone Dame. That'd be awesome to see in like a championship round. Dame and Steph go at it. That'd be sick. I know Steph would win, but that'd be really cool to see. Speaking of Steph, we had the Steph Curry and Sabrina three-point competition. That was sick. People are talking about next year they should do like a duos three-point competition, like Sabrina and Caitlin Clark when she's in the league next year versus like Steph and like Dame, or Steph and Seth Curry, or Steph and whatever players leading the NBA in three-point percentage. But same thing, but 2v2s. I think that could be really cool. That was actually really fun to see that. I know Sabrina is amazing. I've watched a couple of Liberty games just to watch her play, and she's amazing. And yeah, that was really cool to see. And then the slam dunk competition made me want to crawl into an imaginary turtle shell and never watch basketball ever again. That was the most interesting dunk contest I've ever seen. Shout out to Mac McClung. He kind of was the only one who seemed to put any sort of effort and was looking like the only player who has ever seen an NBA slam dunk competition before. Because all the other guys just did windmills and East Bay dunks and, oh, I'm gonna dunk over Shaq. Well, no, I'm gonna dunk over Shaq. Oh, I'm gonna dunk over a person sitting in a chair. Like, can we please get some actual people who do dunk contest stuff? I beg. Mac McClung, awesome. He deserves it. He was the best dunker, hands down. But can we get some, like, people to compete, like people who actually want to do dunks in the dunk contest, not to do a no-look dunk, but look the entire time. I don't know what Jaylen Brown was doing. That was just, I don't know, man. The All-Star game was just, it was not it, man. It was not it, and the All-Star game alone was dog duty. I said this also on my Monday night live stream. I hate that they got rid of the NBA All-Star draft. I think they should bring it back, but it has to alternate team captains. I think LeBron, I love LeBron, one of my favorite players. Having him as team captain every year got really boring, and I get that. I think every other year would be a team captain. So if LeBron wasn't the last time, the next All-Star team captain cannot be LeBron. It'd be the second place winner if it was someone different. And then, that person could do it next year and it could go back to LeBron or some other player. You know what I mean? It has to alternate, and I think that'd make things more interesting. And it was more competitive, it was more fun, and East versus West was just, that was just yikes. That was just absolutely yikes to me, and, it's a shame. It's a shame. People were talking about ways to fix it. I think, in my opinion, the winner West, if they continue to do that, whoever wins gets home court advantage for game number 1. If it doesn't matter who it is, or what team, or blah blah blah, what the shitting is, whoever wins the East vs. West All-Star game in the NBA Finals gets game 1 home court advantage. I think that would be just absolutely out of this world competitive, especially when you have guys who are all-stars, who are on good teams. Again, for the West, like the Timberwolves, who want to make a good run, so you had Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, and of course you have LeBron, and maybe Steph Curry can feel like they can get in there, and then you have the Clippers in there as well, the Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Like, those guys are going to be clawing the rest of their team to try to win this game, because they are good. Well, some of them are on good teams, but they are players who have championship aspirations. They are going to claw their team to win, because they want that game 1 home court advantage. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Anyways, yeah. State of the NBA. Oh, I can't wait for the playoffs. Okay, anything else we can talk about, really? Any sort of articles? Not really. Okay, well, I guess kind of quickly, I would like to take a look at the MLB. The MLB. I have not talked baseball on this channel since I think the World Series, which was forever ago. I guess technically October. I think that's when the World Series is, right? And I like baseball. I like baseball a lot. I love going to baseball games. Going to baseball games live might be my favorite sporting event to go to. But watching baseball is just so boring on TV, so I don't really keep up with it that much. And also, my team sucks. My team, by the way, is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. But anyways, here we have the updated World Series for the year 2024. Odds for the World Series. Excuse me. I ate kind of right before I started filming this video. It is really late, but I needed a little snack because I know I was going to be starving after I'm done doing this video, because obviously I'm sitting here for a pretty long period of time and I'm still digesting the food, so sorry if I'm heavy breathing or burpy. I just ate food. Anyways, odds for the MLB baseball teams. So it's kind of weird the way they do it. They do it by divisions, and they just go team by team. It's not a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's just a grouping of teams. So for the American League East, the experts have the New York Yankees as the number 1 team in the American League East with championship, betting odds of plus 1,000, which actually isn't that bad. But they have the Yankees being above the Orioles, the Jays, the Rays, and the Boston Red Sox, who are, looking like the worst team in the American League East. But the Yankees, number 1 team. I think that's doable. I think that makes sense. I know the Yankees last year had some pretty high hopes and pretty big aspirations, and I think they had some injuries, and just the team was not playing all that well, and looks like they're going to make a comeback. At least that's what they're predicting, and excited to see what the Yankees can do next year. For the American League Central, we have the Minnesota Twins at a betting odd of plus 2,000. So again, the Yankees still number 1 over there, with the Twins being above the Tigers, the Guardians, the Royals, and the Chicago White Sox as the worst team so far, with betting odds of plus 25,000. So hey man, if you want to make some big bucks and you're a big time supporter of the Chicago White Sox, and maybe put $1 on them, see what happens. No, but yeah, those Twin City jerseys, by the way, are really cool from the Minnesota Twins. I've never seen those before, but those jerseys look pretty clean. Not really even sure who's on the Minnesota Twins to make them sort of pretty good betting odds, but shout out to the Twins. Okay, going over to the American League West, we have winning the World Series at plus 800. Then you have the Rangers, the Mariners, the Angels. Did I say that right? The Rangers, the Mariners, the Angels, and the Oakland A's at plus 40,000. Man, Moneyball is a really good movie. But, yeah, the Astros are looking just absolutely amazing. Well, for baseball, they look amazing. I'm not a big Astro fan. I don't think really anyone, unless you're from Houston, really likes the Astros because of that whole, thing that they did. Anyways, Astros number one does make a lot of sense. Then you have the Rangers as the second best odds, I think, right? Plus 1,400, or the Yankees were plus 1,000. So it goes Astros, Yankees, and then the Rangers at 3. The Mariners at plus 2,000 is actually kind of interesting. I know they made a trade during the offseason this year, which I don't know if that helped or hurt that team short term or the long term. And then my favorite team, the Los Angeles Angels. Obviously, yes, losing Shohei Ohtani. That was rough. Shohei just kept saying the entire time he just wants to play for a team that wants to win. He wants to play for a winning team. He wants to win. Like, he cares. He's very competitive. That's awesome. That's great for Shohei. I'm very happy for him. But man, I hope to God that is a slap to the face of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim to wake up. You had the best player, potentially, in the history of baseball on your team, and he left because he felt no matter what he did, they couldn't win. You have potentially the greatest player in baseball history leave your franchise. They potentially had two with Mike Trout on the team. Oh my God, the Angels are just, they're a joke. They're a joke. They can never stay healthy. Anyways, shout out to Shohei. Looking at the National League East, we have the Braves at plus 450. Oh my goodness. Are they the new number one? I think they are. Yeah, they are the new number one with the Braves. Braves number one. Then you have the Phillies, the Mets, the Marlins, and the Nationals at plus 20,000. Shout out to the Atlanta Braves. I always liked the little tomahawk on the Braves uniform. I think that always looks pretty clean. Atlanta 450 again. Not too sure what makes them number one, but I'm not a very good player. What player plays where kind of guy for baseball, but I try my best. For the National League Central Division, this is looking kind of like a rougher division. We have the Cubs at 1 with plus 2,800, which is kind of yikes. Then you have the Cardinals, the Reds, the Brewers, and the Pirates at the very bottom. Kind of a weaker division, it seems like, but the Cubs did win a handful of years ago. Oh my God, 2016. 2016 in 2 years is 10 years old. Where is this time going? And then for the National League West, we have the Dodgers at number 1 with Shohei looking spicy, looking amazing in that Los Angeles Dodgers jersey. I'm not gonna lie, he looks a lot better in a Dodgers uniform than he did in an Angel uniform. He looks really good in that. And yeah, the Diamondbacks, the Giants, the Padres, which is another one of my favorite teams, and the Rockies in dead last at plus 40,000. So yeah, obviously, of course, with the Dodgers getting Shohei, and I think also getting a teammate of Shohei's from the Japan baseball team that plays their sort of those world games. I forget what it's even called. They had it last year, I think. They have a teammate of Shohei Ohtani now playing for the Dodgers, and that's obviously really good for sort of team chemistry, keeping Shohei happy, which I just feel like Shohei is going to retire. Well, obviously he has that crazy lucrative contract that's for 20 years, so he's definitely going to retire a Dodger, and I don't know, that franchise is just so well ran, it just makes perfect sense that he would end up there. It just makes more sense than any other team, maybe the Yankees or some other franchise, but he just wanted to go somewhere that will cater to him and also try to win it as much as possible, and Dodgers are definitely a team that will do anything to try to win. They definitely have the means to do it, so that'll be interesting. So yeah, so it looks like the top teams in the MLB are the Dodgers, the Braves, the Yankees, the Astros, some of the other teams we were talking about. I think last year I also called the Dodgers to win it all. I guess this year would be even a better chance to say they're going to win, because obviously they have Shohei and Mookie Betts and Shohei's teammate, and man, that team is just, yeah, that's a tough team. That's for sure. But hey, it is what it is. They also talk like trade still. There's even like an article here, top 10 MLB players most likely to be traded in 2024, which is kind of interesting. I want to see if Mike Trout's on here. Oh wow, we have Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. That is interesting. Pete Alonso leaving the New York Mets, that could be kind of wild to think about. We have Shane Bieber. Oh, I didn't know that was Shane Bieber. Interesting. Pitcher from the Guardians. If you're a Guardians fan, that might be kind of yikes. Oh, Josh Bell from the Marlins. That would be pretty wild to see. Is he gonna pop up? And he is not. Okay, looks like Mike Trout's staying put according to Bleacher Report on this article, but definitely don't count it out. I think I actually saw an article on here talking about Mike Trout telling the ownership that, like time's ticking, they gotta show that they want to win and blah blah blah, but man, that team is just, I don't know. Anyways, man, we're still pretty decent ways into this video. And if you're still watching this video, if you're watching right now, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps out the video a lot. Again, show support, and I'm here with you, trying to whisper, ramble. I should be doing more triggers in this video, but I'm just, trying to constantly think about what to talk about next, because again, not a lot going on, really, in the world of sports. Let's see. I think right now would be a good time to maybe talk maybe some Premier League. What's today? Today was, I think, when you guys are watching this video, it was supposed to be actually Chelsea versus Tottenham, but it was actually postponed. I don't know why, but it was actually supposed to be tonight, or today, this morning, whenever that is. But it looks like they're not having it anymore, which is kind of sad. And then tomorrow, when you guys are watching this video, they have a handful of Premier League. Well, sorry about that. Sorry. Some Premier League games. Any of them any good? I guess Man City is playing, but they're playing Bournemouth. That's kind of rough, I'm not gonna lie. We have Crystal Palace versus Burnley. None of these games are very interesting in my own opinion. Then the next set of games are Monday. Oh no! Wow, these Premier League games are getting kind of thin, going all the way to March 2nd, and then March 4th, March 9th is the weekend. Does anybody know when the Premier League season ends? I actually have no idea. I guess it goes into March, which is kind of nice. Wow, they even go into the 30th. Wow, okay, so we have a lot more of Premier League soccer to get through, but I actually didn't know that. I thought the season was almost, I don't know why I thought the season was almost done and over with, but anyways, let's take a look at the standings for the Premier League. Okay. So, at the number 1 seed for the Premier League right now is Liverpool. Holy cow, Liverpool with 60 points, 18 wins, 6 draws, only 2 losses on the year, which is pretty impressive. Second, we have Man City at 56 points right now. Then we have Arsenal and Aston Villa. Aston Villa in fourth right now, sort of in that Champions League area, which is nice. And under them, pretty much right under them with 49 points for Aston Villa. 47 we have the Tottenham Spurs, the Hot Spurs, at number 5, so very close. Then we have Man United, West Ham at 9, Chelsea 10, Crystal Palace 15th, and then we have some of the relegation teams like Burnley and Luton Town down there for relegation. It's kind of sad seeing teams down there, but yeah, pretty interesting. I do kind of want to see, do they have the Champions League? Here we go, Champions. Let's just see some of the, okay, so the upcoming Champions League games, the next Champions League games that I can see at least are Tuesday, March 5th, so a couple weeks away. We have Bayern Munich going up against Lazio, interesting. PSG is also playing that day as well. Wednesday we have Man City going up against Copenhagen, and Real Madrid, who actually finally confirmed the signing of Kylian Mbappe, which is great. Finally, Kylian gets signed. I think that's pretty exciting. I'm not gonna lie, not too sure how that really is in like the terms of football. Like it's like those things on Twitter, like explain to this in NBA terms, like Kylian Mbappe signing with Real Madrid. Like what team is that? I don't know in NBA terms, but obviously I know Kylian Mbappe is just absolutely insane. Back in the World Cup days, he was definitely the best player on the planet. Now it's definitely more of an argument with Haaland also being a great player, and some other guys out there as well doing very well. But yeah, Real Madrid finally getting Mbappe. Kylian. Can I actually look at the standings for? Okay, yeah, the Champions League table. Leading Group A is actually Bayern Munich, which is pretty exciting. Then in Group B, we have Arsenal leading Group B. Group C, we have Real Madrid. Real Madrid leading Group C. Knock on wood. Undefeated. Ooh, undefeated right now. That's pretty nice with 18 points, looking pretty fire. Group D, we have Sociedad, and then Inter, which I think it's Inter Milan. I think it's that team. The team that was in the Champions League final last year, going up against Man City. Obviously, ended up losing against that crazy team, but they're in second right now. They are right now tied for first. Atletico leading Group E. Dortmund, I think I pronounced that right, leading Group F with PSG right behind them. Man City leading Group G again. Undefeated at the moment. Of course they are. They are pretty insane. And then Barcelona leading Group H. So, I'm not entirely sure how many games the Champions League goes on for until they obviously go into sort of the knockout rounds. But, yeah, I'll definitely be watching those. And maybe I'll even do a video talking just specifically about the Champions League. Sort of that's when it gets sort of kicking off and going more. I'd love to cover it in videos and stuff. Last year I got on it like pretty late in the game. I think I only made like one video talking about the Champions League final. But I like to make more content on that if that's what you guys want. I know I'm still extremely new to this all. I've only been watching for like the past like year or two. Basically like 2 years, because actually, was the World Cup 2 years ago? Or has it been longer than that? God, time is just flying by, man. But anyways, since the World Cup, I've been trying to pay more and more attention, and I'll love to cover it, even though I'm still fairly new at it. Okay, what else can we talk about here? We still have about like 10 minutes left. Let's see, I guess we can look at the standings for the NHL. I don't know a lot of hockey fans out there, but hi to all you hockey fans out there. Just very quickly looking at the standings right now for the Eastern Conference, we have the Bruins, number one team in the Eastern Conference, even though the Rangers actually have more wins than the Bruins. Actually, the Bruins are only first because they have more points tallied up than everyone else. Now, it's actually kind of interesting. The Rangers actually have more wins and less losses than them, but hey, it goes by points. So they have the 1 seed. The Rangers, the Panthers, the Hurricanes, Maple Leafs 6, Flyers. Maple Leafs 5, Flyers 6. It goes on and on and on. Last team are the Blue Jackets. Where are the Blue Jackets from? Washington, D.C. maybe? I have no idea. Then in the Western Conference, the number 1 seeded team are the Canucks. The Canadian Canucks. Then we have the Dallas Star, the Avalanche, the Jets, and one of my favorite teams, the Golden Knights. Then we have the LA Kings there at 7. Another one of my favorite teams. Last place at 16th, we have the Blackhawks of Chicago. With only 15 wins, that's pretty rough. Yeah, that's pretty fun, I guess. I'm definitely not too sure when this season ends for hockey. I know it kind of ends around the same time as the basketball season stops as well. So, yeah, last year I went to a hockey game, made a video about it. Jake Paul or ASMR in public videos when they used to be a thing. They're not a thing anymore. Well, not really, but I did go to a Las Vegas Golden Knights hockey game, and I made a video about it if you want to check it out. It's definitely a lot of fun. Anything else? I guess we can really quickly talk about some college basketball since the season is about to wrap up here fairly soon. I know some teams are finally going to do some of their tournament games for their conference tournaments. The teams that win those punch their ticket, as they say. Punch the ticket. Oh, sorry if you hear the train in the background. Punch the ticket to March Madness, which is pretty exciting. I know. Let's see. Oh, you can actually take a look. Can you actually take a look at just the top 25 AP? Oh, you can? Okay, sick. So, as of right now, the recording of this video, number 1, we have the Connecticut UConn Huskies. Huskies. Looking pretty good. I know they have, Castle. He's supposed to be a pretty good guard. He's like 6'6". He can play point. He can play off guard. Looking pretty good, at least in the draft aspect of things. It's the name I've been saying a lot. And obviously, Donovan Clingan, who's also been looking pretty good as a draft prospect. Just a big 7-foot plus center who's pretty skillful. He is kind of injury prone, so again, knock on wood for him. But I can definitely see him being a top 15, top 10 pick kind of guy. That's also just a really well-ran team. So yeah, UConn looking pretty good. Or actually, does Castle play for UConn or does he play for the Bulldogs? I think he plays for UConn. Anyways, we have Houston at 2, Purdue dropping down to 3. Oh man, Purdue. Yeah, Purdue has been losing to some underwhelming teams so far this year. I think 2 of their losses, or maybe even all 3 of their losses, have been to unranked teams. So if you're someone who likes to make a lot of brackets during March Madness, which I am someone who likes to do that, definitely have a bracket of them leaving kind of early in the March Madness tournament. They're a team that just, for some reason, when they go up against lesser talent, they play to the level of that lesser talent. Watch out for them. We have my favorite college basketball team, the Arizona Wildcats, at 4. 5, we have Tennessee. 6, we have Iowa State. I did not know Iowa State was like that this year, but I guess they are. Marquette 7, Duke 8, Kansas 9, North Carolina, the Tar Heels at 10. We have Baylor at 11, who have also 2 pretty good prospects of them in the draft. I think it's like Gibi or Yevis, Messi or something like that. He's a big time center. He's very athletic, very almost like a, I don't know, they're very rim running big. And then they have Walters. I think that's his last name. Is also supposed to be like a top 5 pick this this year, potentially. Anyone else kind of sticking out? Kentucky, we have the Wildcats at 17th, which is kind of low for them. Wow, Washington State is ranked 21st. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think for sure if I had some like favorites, for potentially winning it all in March Madness, I think UConn looks really good. So I'd probably do UConn. I mean, Kansas is also kind of a sneaky team. I feel like they could be a team that can maybe be like a 3 seed and kind of make it pretty far in the March Madness tournament. Kentucky is scary because they do have some very sparky guys on their team that, like Rob Dillingham, that's a guy who could be the player of the tournament. That guy could go and drop 30 points every single night. Like, he's that sparky of a guy. I kind of compared him like a Kemba Walker kind of player, like a 6'2", smaller guard who can just get buckets. And that's a guy, if he goes off in the tournament, he could really lead that Kentucky team to at least a pretty good spot. Maybe, I don't want to say winning it all, but he'll definitely make that team look really, really good. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's still very much a toss-up. Either look more into teams and players, and definitely need some help of the experts. But yeah, March Madness is just right around that corner. I'm very excited to see. But yeah, is there anything else? Oh man, I still have like 5 minutes left of this. Let's see. Formula One. Maybe we can talk some Formula One. It looks like here their next upcoming race is February 29th. And then they also have another race over here, March 1st. There are a couple more races, but yeah, February 29th. Okay, that's the last day of February. I think they have the Bahrain Grand Prix 2024. That's pretty sick. I'm not too sure really what is gonna be going on here. But that's kind of exciting. Another reason why people say, Jake, why don't you talk more Formula One? Why don't you talk more? The first race, FP1 circuit, starts at 3:30 in the morning. I think the endings are great. Like the final like 30 laps or so for any sort of races. It's awesome. I think it's pretty fun. But yeah, I'm just not a big racing kind of guy. And I guess really quickly, I know UFC 300. When is that supposed to be? April 13th, and that's supposed to be a big time fight. We have Alex going up against Jamal Hill for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Looking pretty good there. We also have the women's championship going on as well. Then we have Justin Gaethje going against Max Holloway. That's gonna be an entertaining fight. That's actually a pretty sick fight, I'm not gonna lie. And then I've also heard some Twitter chatter of this being like a really good undercard. So if you're a fan of fighting, and maybe the big time headline guys aren't really your pick of the crop, definitely maybe stick around and watch maybe the undercard of this fight, because apparently that it's a very loaded undercard, and I'm someone who just wants to see a good fight. I don't care about the name. I just want to see a crazy fight, and it looks like this card is pretty stacked with some of that potential of not being, boring, and then a great main event, but pretty entertaining throughout the entire night. So, yeah. Oh wait, that Justin fight got canceled. Wait, is it actually canceled? Oh, it says here it's canceled. Well, I am sad now. Well, that fight sounded really fun, but anyways, guys, I think that is gonna be it for me. I don't know what other kind of sports stuff to really talk about, unless, I don't know, you guys want me to talk bowling, or tennis, or darts, or something else. Definitely let me know. Definitely let me know. Down in the comments. I'd definitely love to know. Maybe if you guys want me to, I could maybe do, again, like website stuff, like if you don't know, I just think of a random athlete, give out some little, I guess, clues on who it is, and you have to guess who the athlete is. I guess we can do that game, or just other sort of like random stuff throughout these videos to be a little bit more interactive with you. I think that could be pretty fun. But let me know down in the comments what you guys want to hear from next time, and I'll definitely be more interested in doing it. Of course, again, with the NFL being done and the NBA season almost wrapping up, it's getting kind of scary that we're kind of luring our little bubble of sports, and it's getting less and less and less. But March Madness is starting soon, so that is really exciting. And yes, I will be making March Madness content. I will be making a March Madness bracket video, and I might even be doing a March Madness giveaway, and maybe even doing, yes, people have been asking for it for years. Like, literally, I've been making videos for, officially, I've been making videos for over 7 years now on YouTube, and every year, people ask to do, a group, Jake Baller group, and you all throw in a March Madness bracket, and we see who's the best and stuff. So maybe we'll do that, and that'll determine the winner of the